Hello and welcome to Levant TV headlines. Authorities in Iraq have raised the death toll from bombings that targeted two top hotels in Baghdad to 15 people, with another 42 wounded. UN humanitarian chief Valerie Amos said in her final address to the UN Security Council that the Syrian war is having a more devastating impact every day and urged the powerful body to put aside political differences and find a solution to restore peace. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Russian and US positions on Syria are getting closer after several high-level contacts between Moscow and Washington this month over the conflict. United Nations Special Envoy Bernardino Leon says Libya is on the verge of economic collapse as rival factions haggle over a political settlement. And the United States says it will vote for Jordan's Prince Ali bin Al-Hussein for FIFA president and not for the incumbent Sepp Blatter. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting from the UAE, the Khaleej Times leads, reporting that FIFA president Sepp Blatter rejected an emotional plea to resign from one of the world's soccer greats as the corruption scandal engulfing the game's governing body drew warnings from sponsors and political leaders. The paper also reports that a total of 48 out of 50 private schools that had asked for a fee hike for the coming academic year have been given the go-ahead by the Sharjah Education Zone. From Lebanon, the Daily Star leads its Middle East news, reporting that Cypriot police suspect a Lebanese man they arrested this week of planning an attack on Israeli interests on the island after they found almost 2 tons of ammonium nitrate in his basement. The paper also reports that at least 10 men from the northeastern border town of Arsal have reportedly joined Syria-based Islamist militants fighting against Hezbollah along the border with Lebanon. The Egypt Independent leads, reporting that an Egyptian court has acquitted a state security officer who had been convicted of torturing to death an Islamist detainee in a case that has fueled anger over police brutality in the weeks before the 2011 uprising. The paper also reports that Al Jazeera reporter Peter Grest, deported after spending 400 days in an Egyptian jail on charges that included aiding a terrorist group, fears he will be found guilty in absentia at a retrial that resumes in Cairo next week. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines from the UK papers. The Guardian leads its Middle East news, reporting that the Palestinian Football Association will push ahead for a vote calling for the suspension of Israel from the World Football Organization at FIFA's scandal-riven Congress in Zurich. Despite last-ditch attempts at mediation by World Football officials, the Palestinian delegation insisted it would push for a vote unless Israel expels 5 teams based in illegal Israeli settlements from its football league. The Independent leads its Middle East news, reporting that car bombs have exploded in the car parks of 2 heavily fortified 5-star hotels in central Baghdad, killing at least 10 people and wounding 30. The first bomb targeted the Babylon Hotel, where government officials often hold meetings and news conferences, and the second hit the Meridian. The Telegraph leads its Middle East news, reporting that a rebel coalition led by the Syrian affiliate of Al-Qaeda stormed and seized the last regime-held city in Idlib province as Iraq exhumed the remains of 470 jihadist victims. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said al-Nusra Front and its allies in the Army of Conquest captured area after fierce clashes with regime forces, including their Hezbollah allies, who were seen withdrawing. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in the international papers. Germany's Deutsche Welle reports that a former state security major has been acquitted of torturing a suspect to death in the months leading to the ousting of Hosni Mubarak. Major Mohammed Abdel Rahman al-Shemi was convicted to 15 years in 2012 for his treatment of the suspect in a deadly church bombing on New Year's Eve 2011. Egypt's highest court has since overturned the verdict and sent Shemi's case to a retrial in which he was cleared. And finally, China's Global Times reports that Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said he hoped Tehran and world powers would reach a final nuclear deal within a reasonable period of time, but this would be hard if the other side stuck to what he called excessive demands. And for more updates, please visit lemonde.tv. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.